And welcome back to the Week Code Win. This one comes with Trenton the Skeleton, who asked the question, who will fight? The 7 from the boys versus Samurai Jack. Now, the 7 have obviously gone through some members, and there are currently members who are not, or former members who are not members of the team. Specifically, the current roster actually, at least in the show, mind you, we're going with the show, are Homelander, Queen Maeve, who was like on a sabbatical of some kind, but she is still part of the team. Black Noir, A-Train, and Starlight were reappointed. Former members include Stormfront, Lamplighter, Translucent, The Deep, and Mr. Marathon, who was only mentioned. The Deep being the Aquaman of the group. Translucent was an Invisible Man type individual. Lamplighter, I remember the name. He's a pyrokinetic. Oddly enough, played by the guy who played Iceman. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Lamplighter is very disappointed with his demotion from the 7 to clean up. He still works with the VOD though, so I mean, let's just we'll include the general roster of the 7 because there's only 5 members, so we'll include the Deep, who was one of the first members on the team, and Stormfront, who was one of the most powerful members. Obviously, they're all takes on different superheroes: the Deep, Aquaman, Homelander, Superman, Black Noir, Batman, so forth and so on. They, generally speaking, aren't as powerful as the characters they're based off of. Like Homelander, for instance, is not as powerful as Superman. Pretty much near any incarnation, except maybe the early incarnations of Superman. Just because his level of durability, his level of strength, like what he says he's capable of, literally, Superman can outdo him. Still, by the standards of the world he lives in, he is more or less unbeatable. No one has brought out a way to take him down yet. He can survive pretty much every weapon on the planet, which includes hydrogen bombs and above. Heat vision, super strength, durability, super speed, flight. So, yeah, he's, that being said, just like many of the members of the team, pretty unstable. Like he is pretty much a psychopath. I think at least in the show, there's an implication that with him and Milk, my guess it's more like a Pavlovian thing, or like a Freudian thing, because he has mom issues. Hell, he was banging a shapeshifter who could turn into his mom. Yeah, I think that's more what it is. But there might be a correlation with Milk and his powers. But ultimately, I doubt that's the case. Black Noir is kind of the martial arts master, the Batman of the group, though much more durable than something like the Batman in theory, because he's taken like explosions to the face and is generally, walked it off, no problem. Seems to be like, his pain senses seem to be completely dulled. He's the only member on the team that Homelander actually respects. He's pretty much a master ninja, all that. A-Train is the Flash of the group. He's not as fast as, say, he's not even as fast as say, like Quicksilver is, quite frankly. Let me see if I can find what he said his top, or what it said his top speed is. Because I believe it's, superhuman speed. A-Train, according to the announcer, A-Train reaches speeds excess of 1,000 miles per hour, which is faster than the speed of sound. The result of this race with Shockwave stated that he ran 371 meters per second, while Shockwave only ran 342, where 443 meters per second is the speed of sound. Billy Butcher estimated that A-Train can cover all Manhattan in 30 minutes, and A-Train himself stated he could cover all New York in 3 hours. It's implied that A-Train can run on water as he ran. Okay, so yeah, more or less, he's got a mild healing factor, superhuman strength, especially when he's moving at speeds that can just blow people apart. But that being said, he includes weaknesses, including he has a heart condition. He eventually suffered a heart attack. He can't exert as much as he used to. We'll use him at his full power. Brute force and limited strength and durability compared to some of the other groups. characters. Queen Maeve is the Wonder Woman. She's superhuman strong, durability, wields a weapon. Unlike someone like Wonder Woman or even like a mild superhuman strength kind of character, she stopped a truck if I'm remembering correctly, or was it a train? I want to say it was a bus, or maybe it was a bus. She stopped a very large vehicle, but the result broke her arm. So she's got superhuman strength, but she's nowhere near the top of the heap when it comes to superhuman strength. The Deep is essentially the Aquaman of the group. He doesn't really have that much in terms of abilities. If we're gonna be frank, yeah, he can breathe underwater. Yeah, he can communicate with animals. Enhanced swimming, or sea life. He does have some superhuman strength, especially in water. He could potentially be weaker than Starlight as he was intimidated by her threats, though. Superhuman durability, he was able to stand more damage than a normal human being, but again, that's, he's no more durable than, say, slight above normal, basically. Although he can withstand pretty high ocean pressure. We have Starlight, who I can't remember, because she can convert electricity or light into energy. I think it is electricity absorption. That's it. She converts it into energy and, fires it back. Bioluminescence, she can make her hands glow. And superhuman strength, durability, she actually survived a 50 caliber bullet while great pain and bled a bit from the bullet. She did not go through her body. She recovered pretty quick. Also an expert in hand-to-hand combat. Lack of electricity, though, is a problem in this fight for her. Who we got left here? Yes, Stormfront, who I believe at this point is either dead or near death by the end of season 2. If you haven't watched season 2 yet, obviously. Spoilers, though I imagine anyone who's watching this probably has seen a season of The Boys at least, and therefore has probably seen the final, last season. Yeah, come on, jeez. A lot of info on her. I'm trying to get all the way to her powers and abilities here. You've seen during her past, possesses immense skill and acts. Anyway, that's her personality. Yeah, as far as I know, she actually is still alive, but she's pretty much made completely useless. Like, she got most of her limbs blown off. Her skull was basically singed. Anyway, I digress. So her abilities though are. She has plasma manipulation, ability to create powerful plasma storms by charging particles and things along those lines. Electrokinetics, electrokinesis, superhuman strength. Shown herself to have tremendous strength, though not on the par of someone like Homelander himself, but still. Superhuman durability. Durability, that was the thing. Between her healing factor and durability, she was able to withstand Homelander's sustained laser vision being when they basically hooked up. I was actually impressed. She just took it and it was, and she withstood a heat vision attack that would inflict some pain, left only a surface level damage. Then they were hooking up. Because they're all, his heat vision was able to burn just even though he was still holding back, and Ryan was able to completely burn her entire body and sever her limbs. Eye wounds as well. She's still extreme blunt force trauma. None of them are invincible, except for, in theory, Homelander, because there has not been a character yet shown to be able to take him on. Although Black Noir, at least in the comics, is shown to be that character. So now I get that out of the way. Samurai Jack. Back to the past, Samurai Jack. It's Jack, trained with, the greatest warriors of his time. Archers, swordsmen, martial artists, ninjas, monks, you name it. Mysticism, all that. Well, he doesn't actually know magic, but he trained in that kind of thing. Master martial arts, master swordsman. Strength-wise, capable of lifting massive boulders, seriously massive boulders, probably weighing in good excess of a ton. Not that it's easy for him to do that, but he can do it. He's able to dodge light speed attacks. before they even occur, so he can move faster than light. He's got relativistic speed to light speed. His sword is magical and indestructible. We know that. Like, there's been no force ever created that could destroy it. Granted, he's been disarmed before. The sword can take a lot of punishment, and sometimes the sword can't cut everything. Like when he fought the androids made of adamantium. Yeah, they were made of adamantium, according to the guy who made them. He needed extra, strength from the robotic, enhanced arm, and then with the magic infused from his ancestors, beat the last one. But still, master of stealth, very intelligent, very cunning strategist. Can take down multiple foes in an instant. He ultimately did defeat Aku. Can take a hell of amount of abuse too. Like, Jack can take a beating. He took down. He went toe to toe. Oh god, what was the name of the guy? I think he was just called the Guardian, right? The guy who was guarding the temple. I was like, oh, you going all old school on me, huh? You ain't crossing, man. I ain't letting you through. That guy actually beat Jack, but Jack took a beating. He's been stabbed multiple times. He's recovered from that. He's he's been shot, I believe, on a few occasions, stabbed, bludgeoned, fallen off cliffs while bleeding out, and yet he survived. Like, Jack is a tough son of a bitch. So Jack would probably, back to the past, Samurai Jack. Haku can open portals anywhere. Let's say that he actually opens a portal in the final bout before. Let's say Jack even succeeds in killing him, but Haku in his final moments of if I go, you go too, Samurai. Sends him to a different dimension, not a different time, which happens to be the boys' dimension. Jack is walking around trying to figure out what's going on. People see a guy dressed in a samurai gi, a white samurai gi, and holding a katana. And they're like, what's this? Excuse me, I'm just looking for, excuse me. And then the seven start to, I don't think the seven show up as a whole. I'd have to say it'd probably be A-Train would get on the scene first, obviously. He's like, excuse me. It's like, can I help? He's like, yes, you see, I am new to here, and unfortunately I have been lost due to circumstances. Could you help me? Say, yeah, you can help. I'm going to take you right to the police station. We'll get started up. Oh, and initially it all probably works. Like, you're going to have to give up the sword. My sword? I cannot give up the sword. It's like, you're going to have to give up the sword. And he's like, all right, I didn't want to fight you. And then, A-Train comes at him. But Jack's got the reflexes to easily dodge A-Train. So he just, and A-Train goes into a wall. Ooh. Now, I don't think A-Train would, actually break his hand, at least initially, because he's got the power to actually blow a person apart just by running through him. So, he reaches for Jack, and he just, It's like, look, I do not want trouble. It's like, okay, you got trouble. He starts moving, and Jack is dodging him. Again, Jack's got light speed level reflexes. So A-Train is nothing on Jack, quite frankly. All right, that's enough. And then he just grabs him and just flips him. And basically, A-Train, whatever signal is sent out to the seven to bring them in, the seven get brought in. So you then get, all of them, showing up. The Deep, Queen Maeve, Starlight, Storm, they're all showing up. Homelander, I think, would take his time, admittedly. And maybe even Stormfront's they're watching, do we really have to take on this guy? Look, you guys take it. We'll get in there if we need to. So it's more Starlight, the Deep, Noir, and Queen Maeve joining the fight. It's like, you really want to go, samurai boy? Come on, let's go. It's like, the name is Jack. Oh, well, hey, Jack. I'm the Deep, and I'm going to kick your ass. And Jack's like, it just hits him right in the gills. Oh! It's like, yes, my ass will remain unkicked, thank you. And Noir kind of doesn't get involved if he can help it. He's kind of more the guy you send in when you need the legitimate dirty work kind of done, but you need it discreet, whereas Homelander just doesn't give a shit. But I think Noir might actually be there for a change. So Noir and Maeve actually are both, though, getting into the fight, whereas, not Stormfront. Think words here. What was her name again? Name. Translucent, not translucent. Lamplighter. Nope, not Lamplighter. Why am I get Starlight? There's my girl. Starlight, gathering up electricity. And like Jack is a trained warrior, and now Maeve's got her sword out too. So Jack pulls out his. They go for a few rounds until he just is like, "This is enough. That is enough." And he actually just cuts her sword in half, and takes out Black Noir's like arms. Like, "Oh, I am so sorry. Are you okay?" And Noir's just looking at it, and he's actually like, just boom, actually smacks Jack in the face successfully. Just oh. And then May just grabs him and just smacks him into a building. Oh, and it's like the Starlight, and she just fires the plasma blast right at Jack. Jack just blocks it with foot, and basically reflects it back, and I think takes out Noir by mistake because he doesn't want to mean to kill them, but fortunately he takes out Noir, and Maeve blocks it but gets thrown back, and Star's like, "I am so sorry," and then Jack comes in and "That is enough. Go to sleep." "Oh dear, forgive me. I didn't mean to." All of a sudden because he's a trained warrior, and he knows he's got that battle sense. He can sense the lightning and heat vision. He just blocks with the sword again, but he gets thrown back. Now he's just squaring off with him. You get this looking Jack right here, because now he's a bit torn up. It's like, and Yoma's like, my, you are something indeed, buddy. Seeing as we seem to be short, we might be down a couple members. Look, maybe we can work something out here. You probably don't. You're clearly new around here, as we heard from Maeve for training. I'm Homelander. This is Stormfront. We're part of the 7. Great team, great membership. We could really use a guy like you. You've literally just whooped nearly every one of the 7. These guys like you don't come around very often, man. I would really love to have you a member. Look, we can work things. We can work a deal out. Maybe get you like a sponsorship. You can maybe even show off for the kid. It'd be great, man. What do you say? It's like I say prepare. It's like, you do what you do. What you want this one, baby? It's that's the thing. It's like, because they'd probably be dating at the time. He looks at Stormfront. It's like, you want this one, babe? And Stormfront, I don't know. And Stormfront's kind of looking at him like maybe like a cat. I was like, he's like, oh, do you want him? I'm like, I do, but. Do you want? Come on, dude. This is what couples do. We share. It's like, oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, okay. And now she's just she fires off the plasma at him, lightning, to which he just he's dodging, just blocks it, and she's now just, oh, he's fast, and he can't get his and he's just getting. He's basically just enjoying, and he basically goes into it and says, "Oh, he's playing hide and seek. Isn't this fun?" Now, if I remember correctly, does Homelander have X-ray vision? Because if he does, he can just point out where Jack is. I don't think he does, but I could be wrong. One second, I'm looking it up. I want to be sure I'm right about this. All right. Superhuman strength, speed, invulnerability, speed, stamina. Heat vision. Okay, he does have X-ray vision. So he eventually find Homelander and Stormfront eventually finds got you, and it's like, and he's about he again where's his speed at in terms of okay, so Homelander flying at sea level at speed is close to 1,874 miles. Later, Butcher decides to detonate the bombs. Homelander was able to save both Butcher, still has baby from the blast. As Charlie breaks the stomach. So he's even faster than the A-Train. But still, Jack has reflexes that can actually, avoid a life-threatening, like getting his chest blasted out. So, Homelander just comes and says, okay, he dodged me, and it's like Jack actually cuts, goes to cut him. Now, here's the question we have here. Can Jack's sword cut Homelander? He's invulnerable to all forms of physical harm and thereby most resilient of the 7. Possibly also, as such, he is not completely bulletproof. He's not only completely but also unfazed by explosions, such as when Billy blew up Still has resistance, blah, blah, blah. There is an weapon on Earth that they haven't thrown at him. They've all failed, implying they can survive a nuclear explosion. Homelander survived having a bust in several buildings and without any signs of injuries, save for being dirtied by the incident. But remember that Jack's sword is indestructible and mystically imbued. I don't. First off, indestructibility means that it's like what happens when adamantium goes toe to toe with adamantium. Depending on how they adamantium, basically, if something is indestructible, the only thing that could, in theory, break it outside, molecular manipulation, all that stuff, is something of equal indestructibility. You can break yourself against something of equal hardness, provided that enough force is used. While he's invulnerable to everything on his world, Jack's sword is a weapon that has not been, hasn't been demonstrated. So that while I don't think he would just cut him in half, no, he wouldn't do that. Homelander's well, he just sounds that is this pain? And he looks down, and his suit, not only is his suit cut, I'm bleeding. he's actually taking a moment. I'm bleeding. Yeah, and Jack's looking at it, like, I put a lot. Jack's thinking, like, Jack's holding back too. He's like, I'm not trying to kill him, but he's durable. This will not be easy. Babe, I want to take it again. I know. I need a minute. And Stormfront's looking, like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, fine. It's just, this is new. This is, he's like, it's scary and exciting all at the same time. You are something, and his eyes just go, you are something special. Just bum rushes Jack, Jack avoids the heat, is trying to get out of the way of Homelander. Like, basically, him and Homelander are crashing with sword to blade. Now, Homelander surpasses him, no doubt, in strength. 100%. Like, there's no doubt about that. Jack's got the durability, though, to, as long as he's using his sword and avoiding any serious hit, survive. Although I'm sure Homelander eventually grazes him, throws him through the wall. He's got cracked ribs now, but Jack's just like, he's like, Stormfront, comes in, blasts him, but Jack eventually gets around, gets around her, probably, incapacitates her, just stabs right through, throws her down. Because he's got no choice in the matter here. It's like these people are going to kill me. These people are superpowered individuals. So I need to do something. Now, this is probably not on Jack's part, unless it's accidental. It's not a fight to the death. Fortunately, with Homelander, he knows he can. Homelander just blasts it again. He just like he did with Starlights. He redirects his heat blast towards Stormfront, who can survive a good chunk of his heat vision. But when he's not holding back, different story. And ultimately puts her down by taking a few, giving her a serious wound. She basically, not quite as bad as his son gave her, but enough that she's incapacitated. She can't fight. It's like, oh God, it's like, look what you did. And now he's just forcing Jack back. And he finally just lands a solid strike, cracking Jack, basically just shattering Jack's bone. He's putting a serious punch in. Jack's arm basically just off. He goes flying through. He lands straight on, go through window, lands several stories on the ground. Jack is now just, he's struggling to get up. Body's broken. Just, man. Oh, man. With the right press X, Stormfront's going to be able to get up. Maybe, she'll be able to walk it off. Become nice. Starlight, she's good. But you, man, I'm going to give you one more chance, man, because I don't get to meet a lot of guys like you. In fact, I've never met anyone like you. Come on, man, join the 7. You and me, we can get up so hot things together, man. Come on. It's like, I will not serve with anyone of the likes of you. I say, that's that, yeah. If I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of hoping you're saying that, because man, you're making me feel alive. And Jack's just, does the whole prayer, like, please give me the strength. It's like, praying, that's, if you believe in that sort of, mumbo jumbo, and then you're praying can be good. Yeah, sure. So it's like, time to, and he's so confident. It's like, you're down an arm. I can tell you got internal bleeding, many broken bones. That arm, I'm amazed that one good arm of yours is still there. You're missing an arm. So, why don't I just make it easy on you and just end this right here, right now. I'll even make it quick. Warrior to warrior. I'll make it quick. I'll make it painless. I'll make sure that sword gets a nice spot on my mantle, man. And Jack's just focusing. He's like, let's see, silent one. It's irritating, but something about you, man. Something about you I like. All right, time to end this. And, he charges, and Jack, finally just does the whole, the energy like when he fought the robot comes in the sword, and he just Homelander and him just Homelander's charging. He gets one swipe, and there's that moment, and then Jack, falls to the ground, coughing up serious amounts of blood. It's like you were even like that, you're still able to dodge. You are something. And Homelander's looking, and because he's clearly got a regenerative healing, I'd have to believe he has a healing factor. He's never been injured, but I have to. Homelander can't see through zinc. This is showing that. Well, yeah, that's not a weakness. They say it's a weakness. That's not a weakness. But anyway, Homelander looks down. He very well might have a healing factor. He might not because he's so durable. But he's actually looking. He's just Jack's like, even with all my strength, your durability is great. I do not believe I'd be able to cut through you entirely. However, I did not need to, as I had already made the one cut before, as I had already made the single strike before. Seeing as it's not listed he has a healing factor, we got to go with the idea that he doesn't. So he still had that cut, and it was a decent cut too. Like his bones weren't cut per se, but he had a solid gash, but that's where Jack aimed. Except he channeled all his energy and it was, and all his. I may not have cut you in half, but your heart is a different matter. And Homer's, because it can feel like, I was like, you son of a bitch. Then just boom, and Homelander just drops. He's just struggling to stand up. It's just, you think this is gonna put me down? Perhaps not, but it'll keep you from following me. And all of a sudden, like the portal opens one more time. Haku's work is undone somehow, and Jack goes back to the past. You get back here, you son. Get back. This isn't over. This isn't over. So Jack barely pulls out a win in this scenario, in my mind. Now, why is that? Well, when you really break it down, the only members of the Seven that would legitimately pose a threat to Jack are Homelander, Stormfront, and maybe Starlight to some degree. But other than that, no, Jack's got more than enough training and his sword, and with the sword and without it, to take on the Black Noir without any difficulty and probably disarm him. Deep is a bit of joke even in the show. A-Train, he's got the light speed-esque reflexes to dodge A-Train. May might be a bit difficult, but his sword to sword, she can't compare. And honestly, like, she cannot beat Jack in a straight fight. I don't think, like, just hand to hand, Jack's, again, the better fighter, trained for years. Her physical strength, quite frankly, it's not as impressive as what we've seen some of the things Jack do, to be honest. Jack's also survived re-entry into a planet's atmosphere and come out fine. So, yeah, nothing. And she broke her arm blocking, if I remember correctly, a bus. So, yeah. And so really that comes down to Stormfront and Homelander. And given the relationship between the two of them, I imagine it would be one-on-one with either of them. There wouldn't really be any tag teaming. Except for maybe once or twice. And Jack would most likely use his opponent's abilities to his advantage once he saw what they could do, like reflecting his Homelander's heat vision from his sword to take down Stormfront. So the question then ultimately becomes, does Homelander win or does Jack win? Jack's reflexes are enough that he can keep away from any lethal hits so long as he doesn't take too many superficial. A superficial hit from Homelander is no joke, but superficial hits. The question ultimately came to, and he's clearly a better fighter than Homelander. Like, he's a more skilled fighter. But he's not physically stronger. He's certainly not more physically durable. But the question became, would Jack's sword be enough to put down Homelander? I believe it would be, just because of the nature of the sword. It's mystically imbued. It's indestructible. And if Jack needs to, he can even pump it up further with, like, praying to his ancestors. As we saw, he was able to go through an indestructible metal like adamantium. Although in Jack's world, maybe adamantium isn't indestructible. Who knows? Just highly durable. Now, whether or not he would kill Homelander, if he maybe got a cut into like the neck area, sure. But Jack's general go-to isn't to kill someone. That being said, seeing who he's going up against, he'd have to probably go all out just to survive and go near lethal shots or lethal shots just to slow them down, which I think is what he rationalizes in this scenario. He realized, like, even if I go all out and cut in the areas that I know might put him down, he probably won't die, so I'm good there. And I think that's what ultimately happens, because Homelander's never been freaking injured, at least not on the show. So, ultimately, while it is close, and there are plenty of scenarios, frankly, where I think the 7 would win, or let me rephrase that, Homelander and Stormfront would win, because Jack would beat the other 5. I think Jack ekes out a win. It's not a very large win, but it's a win. Ultimately, though, what do you think? Do you think it's Jack, or do you think I'm full of shit? Do you think it's the 7? Homelander would totally waste Jack. That's cool. I'm actually really not going to argue that strongly against that, because you're not entirely wrong. I just think Jack has enough feats on his side to be like, no, I can keep up. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Share, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. I've got WandaVision review. Not who would win, what if, and my review. We finally got some mainstream movies back in theaters again. So, or like actual movies back in theaters in general. So my review for the Tom and Jerry movie will be up in a little while. So keep your eyes out for that. Thanks for watching, though. See you next time, folks.